Okay, hello everybody, welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 live stream. We are on the Long Island Railroad. We'll be in the M7 8-car service going from Hicksville to New York Penn. It's this service right here, 6:35-ish is our start time. It should take just under an hour to complete. Let's get in here and get set up and get going. Everybody's having a good Monday morning, almost afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. All right, let's get going. Put our key to on. Get the doors open. This. Dim the lights. Let's get the reverser into forward. Get that there so we can charge up the brakes. Hello Mick, hello Bex. How are you both? Welcome. Alright, brakes are charged. Doors shut. Here we are in Hicksville. All right. Away we go. We started rolling a little bit early, but that's okay. Morning, Patrick. No, not homework, Mick. Just that just happened to catch my eye that this real Airbus 320 pilot got a preview of the F-14 coming up. That's going to be released next month. In Microsoft Flight Sim. Westbury's next. I thought that was kind of interesting. So now I don't know if that means it's coming to the Xbox version or what. So we'll have to wait and see. So it does look good though. You know, I was expecting the sun to be just a bit lower in the sky for 6:30 in the morning. But good to hear, Bex. Good to hear. But yeah, I thought is that going to be the only plane to take off from a carrier? No, I think the F-18 will eventually, when that one's released in November, coincide with the release of the new Top Gun movie. So yeah, I don't know. But I think that one will be, and then also the F-18 will be eventually. Now I don't know if they're planning on bringing more of those kinds of planes to the game or not. I had heard that they were bringing the F-14, but I didn't know much more about it until I saw that video. So, but yeah, I've watched that 320 sim. I've watched some of his. Oh my goodness, he goes in super detail. He also did one recently where he flew the Dreamliner. He had a Dreamliner pilot come into his stream and talk about the setup of the plane, and it's really in depth. So yeah, it's crazy. Now I did last night. It tries, but I finally did it. I took off. Well, the first time I tried it, I took off from San Francisco to Las Vegas. Missed my approach. Said I missed my approach, and then it never gave me like a updated route to get back in the pattern to land. So it was just like we were just flying around in a circle, and all that. So I tried again, but the second time I took off from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and that went pretty darn smooth. So yeah, that went really well. Was able to land in Las Vegas. Although the weird thing was, just as I was about to touch down, just as I got over the runway, then they're like, go around, go. I'm like, nah, I'm landing this thing. I'm not going around. No. I landed, pulled off, had no issues. Fired the autopilot at the right time, and landed it. Got off the runway, taxied to a gate, and the cool thing was, and I wish I had recorded it, but once I got to the parking spot, the jetway automatically I saw the door open, the jetway connected to the plane. It was weird. Yeah, it was a good flight. I didn't do it, just because we can. That's all right. Carl Place is next. Yeah, it was a good flight. So what I should have done on the first flight was start to reduce my altitude, and it was weird because I was coming in and then it told me to go up in altitude and then go right back down, and I'm like, that's what after that the whole thing was thrown off. So hey, Ryan. Oh, crap. I'm going to blow this station, aren't I? Yep. No, maybe not. Maybe not. The brakes on this might be pretty good. Look at that. Although I'm sure the passengers would not have appreciated such a dramatic slowdown. All right, let's get the doors unlocked. I'm good, Ryan. I guess you're watching on Twitch this morning instead of YouTube, but okay. Well, I have no pretenses. I want to make this family friendly, but if I slip, so be it. I'm not, I'm only human. So, Miniola is next. Let's see. Don't see it should have gone out. But yeah, I'm on YouTube. No, I try not to swear, but if I do, it happens. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Oh, painkillers are on the menu again today. Oh boy. Yeah, exactly. Slotted inside a cookie. Yeah, hope it. Yeah. Okay. Ryan's finally in the. He was in the chat on the. It is a dude. Well, I'm looking at the chat and I'm trying to look at the and pay attention to our, how far are we from the station so I can get on the brakes in time. Because I would think if I were a passenger and my driver was doing something like this, I'd be like, okay, obviously the driver's distracted because we're slamming on the brakes more often than not. So it looks like, I mean, I like they have the lights on and everything, and it looks amazing. But the sun is up higher than I would have expected. Like it's not balanced right, and got up and went to work. Oh yeah. Get the door shut. Maryland Avenue's next. Has never been in the London Underground. They're always putting the brakes on in the last minute. Well, I can kind of sympathize with that because sometimes it seemed in the BART trains, when I used to ride the BART trains, that the drivers would. Now I don't know if it's like an automated brake system or if the driver applies a brake. I've never quite figured out what does the person at the front end of the train actually control. Because there's parts, I'm glad that I retired. Yeah. I'm almost there myself. I'm just waiting on the... Oh, another 40 years till I can retire. Julie line is computer run, and that really puts the brakes on and takes off so fast as well, huh? All right. New Hyde Park is next. Uh-oh, a little too... No. Don't stop just yet. There we go. The Jubilee is my least favorite. Tube Line, Central, and Bakerloo are my top favorite. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, see, on the BART line, there's not really a... Well, the lines are color-coded, but they don't have a name kind of like what you guys see like on the Bakerloo line or Brighton Main Line or anything like that. It's just the Bay Area Rapid Transit. There's aspects of, like I like... Alright, Jamaica's next. Like when we would as you leave Oakland, you get ready to go under the bay, you go in the Trans Bay tube. They're very... It's weird because you kind of go slow and you're on a downhill going in, enter the tube, and then at a certain point the train just accelerates. And so I always imagine like they would, they have to kind of say, hey, we're going into the Trans Bay tube, and then they have to get like approval to increase their speed, and they have to wait because they have to look at the traffic ahead because they can't go too fast too soon, otherwise they're going to catch up to the other train, and you may be sitting underground in San Francisco waiting for another train to clear out of the platform there at the first station before you can pull in. You know, so I always think that they, you know, part of it is probably controlled by computer, but the other part is controlled by the operator there. But especially with the new Bombardier cars on BART, I'd be curious to see what they're like. The old ones, you could look in and see like the control panel and everything, and I think they've maybe kind of blocked that off so people can't see what's really going on. You know, kind of like here, the passengers can't see what the operator's doing. You know. Before on the tube of the tunnel, as the train ahead was held up thanks to a problem. Yeah, I would imagine that can happen quite a lot. You know, especially early on in a lot, you know, like probably on Long Island Railroad and even the BART trains, because it's a very similar third rail system. Because of the power problems in California, thanks to PG&E, a lot of the times trains are delayed or you're stuck, and it would be worse, you know, if you're stuck either in the Transbay tube or somewhere between stations, and then there's no power, so you have no air conditioning or anything to remain comfortable. You know. Well, yeah, in real life. Yeah, I wouldn't... I mean, I would imagine for people, especially for claustrophobic or something, if you got stuck in a train underground, man, that people would I can see people easily freaking out. If it goes beyond a minute or two, it becomes unbearable for, I would guess, for some people. But they have to commute to work, and that's the only way they can commute. But yeah, it's Morning, Richard. I'm good. I'm good, Richard. Just, enjoying this run on the Long Island Railroad. Alright, let's get the doors shut. And we are on our way to Kew Gardens. Back to doing some more gardening. Oh, nice. Oops. One of those things I never got into. Some people enjoy it. I don't have a green thumb. I'm just waiting to hear if about tomorrow. Oh, before I forget. So we're going to do something a little bit different today in Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. We're going to take a break from flying along the southern part of America, the southern states. And we are going to fly. We're going to take a trip up the coast from Barcelona a bit. We're going to go up, and then we're going to cut in and land at an airport. But we're going to take off from Ibiza. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but yeah, the famous island where there's always a lot of techno music, sort of big parties. A lot of DJs go out there and do their thing or whatever. Yeah, so we're going to do that today. Getting a bus with a loud horn and wake Richard up. I don't think a shelf plant pot is called gardening. Yeah, so we're gonna do that today. We're gonna fly. So we're gonna be in the Cessna 152 today. We're going to kind of take a break from our flying in America and go to Spain and fly along the coast there. Hopefully, we're going to make it nice and sunny, regardless of what the weather is. That's what we're going to do. And we are super early getting into Kew Gardens here. Well, you know, when time is short, you know, the plastic plants are oh, I'm getting people look at me as I'm on my break. Oh, okay. Let's get the doors locked. So we've been on time pretty much our entire journey so far. Alright, Forest Hills is next. Well, I'm not leaving for another 2 minutes, so they will have to wait. There you go. just... Oh, we still made it. There we go. Yeah, they can be, Ryan. Well, anyway, and I sort myself out, run to the loo. Alright, well, have a good day. Woodside is next. Yep, you too, Ryan. Stay safe. So yeah, that's what we're going to do on Microsoft Flight Simulator today. So we're going to take off from Ibiza, or Ibiza, however it's pronounced, and then we are going to kind of make our way towards the coast of Spain. We're going to fly up along Barcelona. We're looking for a town that I visited called Lloret de Mar. And then we are going to pass over that. We're going to find the castle there, or I don't know if it's so much a castle as it was maybe like a coastal defense sort of a building a long time ago. You know, long, many moons ago. And then we're gonna go past that, come back around, and then we're gonna call into an airport and request clearance to land there, and we will set up our pattern, fly in, land, and that will be the end of that. Oh, Ibiza. Okay, thank you, Patrick. I never quite understood how to pronounce that. Ibiza. I always thought it was Ibiza. All right, Woodside. So yeah, I would highly recommend if you like the London Underground sort of, that sort of service. Although here the stations are not as packed together as they are like on the London Underground. This is a good route to buy. You've got this kind of urban scenery sort of stuff. It's not obviously not anything like what we saw the other day on Cane Creek, but we late there? No, we were on time. Okay, I look at the time wrong. Yeah, highly recommend this route. All right, next stop, New York Penn. This has gone pretty well, I think, overall. Thank you for riding on Long Island Railroad today with us. We know you have many options when it comes to your Long Island Railroad experience, but thank you for choosing this one. I always forget about that 30. We have to go over the... So is the train similar to the underground? Well, it's it's probably control-wise, I would say maybe it's a bit more complicated in some ways. than what you get on the Bakerloo line. Although, well, you know, like, I kind of think they are similar in a way. You've got a third rail, you know, you have a power system that's built into the, you know, next to the rails that the train rides itself. So it's very similar in that respect. You know, you do have safety systems here that you don't have to put them on. You know, I've done it before, and I'm being kind of lazy and not having the ATC on and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's not that bad. You know, with the ATC off, you can control this with no problem. The only thing is sometimes the cab setup can be a bit overwhelming because you have to, you know, in order to open the key on, you got to pull the brake into a notch just below emergency, so you could charge up the brakes, and you could do that with your controller. You don't have to hold the button down. You don't have to press the A, you know, use that. And then there's your reverser, your controller key. You know, and that's just the handle. You just move that into forward, and then you're set to go. So, yeah, it's not bad. I think if you like the London Underground, this one might be something that you could, you know, kind of get into. You know, like when I first got Long Island Railroad on Train Symbol 2020, I struggled with it. Like, it just, you know, I was always late, and I couldn't figure out why. And, you know, then I think they did an update, and then I tried it again after the update, and it just, I was on time or early, and it was like, oh, it was a much different experience after a while. So, yeah, I do recommend, if you're looking for another route that's, you know, passenger only, that's somewhat similar to Bakerloo, you know, that sort of thing, this is definitely a good. And then get the M3, because then you have two different options as far as the trains go. You also get the, and you don't always have to go to New York Penn. There's the Atlantic Station. Oh boy, am I speeding. So you got two different stations that you can leave from. You have a yard area there that you could bring the trains into service. Atlantic Station's down here. So yeah, there's quite a lot to do, you know. And then you have your 10-car, 6-car, and 8-car services. So depending on which length of the train, will also determine where you start from or whatever. So yeah, it's but yeah, you could do short services. You know, I think the one where you go from New York Penn to Hicksville or vice versa is probably one of the longer services that you can do. So, but yeah, not too bad. We've been on time and got all of our points for all of our passengers. We sped a little bit. No, it's not. You know, it's fairly uncomplicated. You know, it's pretty straightforward. You know, so yeah, it's not bad at all. I don't know if you could really sit there. That thing is like right up against the wall. Alright, we got a gold out of that. Yay. right. Well, that's going to be it for now. I will see you all in about an hour and a half on Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're flying out from Ibiza to Ibiza, I think. I don't know. I might be just butchering the name. Anyway, we're going to take off from an island. We're going to go inland. We're going to cut up along the coast. And then we are going to land. So hopefully it's going to be a nice